On this episode of Shooting Sports Hawaii, we will showcase the shotgun. We'll upgrade this basic shotgun and take it out to the Hawaii Defense Foundation Range Day. Then Mena Sugimoto will take us out to visit with the Koko Head Skeet Club. And Olena Hugh will spotlight the Punahou Air Rifle team. And we'll showcase a few new products. All this and more on Shooting Sports Hawaii. Thanks for joining us on our inaugural episode of Shooting Sports Hawaii. One of the most widely used firearms by both the military and law enforcement is a shotgun. And it's also used for the civilian sector and home defense as well. Shotguns have been around since the 18th century.
Well, the shotgun is the most intimidating.
The box-locked double-barreled coach gun from the 1850s has changed very little and is widely used in cowboy action shooting today.
It's such a simple firearm. It's easy to use. It doesn't malfunction very often, and it's very effective.
The modern pump action was developed in 1897. A semi-automatic version was developed in 1902, but the pump action is the most popular of the shotgun family today, mainly for its affordability.
A shotgun is very versatile because you can fire everything from a slug, which is one single bullet for precision distance, all the way to birdshot, which is a whole bunch of little pellets that sprays over a large area, and everything in between.
But before you head to the range with your new rifle or shotgun, you have to go through the process to legally acquire one.
Well, they have to go down to HPD and apply for a permit to acquire. They do a background check, a mental health check, and a medical check. If you clear all three in 14 days, they're issued a permit to acquire. It's good for a whole year, and it's free to renew at the end of the year.
When we come back from the break, we're going to show you now how to modify this new shotgun.
Aloha Hawaii, I'm Gabby Franco. I'm an Olympian and you might know me from Top Shot. I will be giving shooting classes in May in Hawaii, but seating is limited. I'll see you soon. Mahalo.
On February's episode of PunishUM Motorsports, Olena Hugh tours high-tech coating and shows you their powder coating process. Hawaii Raceway closed in 2006, and we'll visit with the Oahu's displaced racing community, and let's see what these racers are up to today. And Project Budget Build begins. PunishUM Motorsports, Saturday, February 28th at 4:30 p.m. only on K5, the home team. On the next episode of Shooting Sports Hawaii, we'll show you how to acquire a pistol permit and the pistol certification class that is required.
I want you to lift your right thumb.
Our next project is a budget pistol. And we'll visit with internationally recognized pistol smith, Hawaii's own Ed Masaki.
This is why I think that's one of the best guns.
And in our product showcase, how to improve your front sights for pennies. All this and more coming up on the next episode of Shooting Sports Hawaii, presented by X-Ring Security on February 28th at 4 p.m. only on K5, the home team. On this episode of PunishUM Motorsports, we'll show you the best of our past stories. First, we'll visit with fastest street bike drag racer Jack Cambra Junior. And then it's off to Vegas to hang with Ron Capps and the Okuhara brothers. We'll get sideways with one of the old boys. And we'll take to the skies with the Hawaii Air Guards Sumo. PunishUM Motorsports coming up next. Shooting Sports Hawaii is being brought to you by X-Ring Security. Coming soon to X-Ring Security, a state-of-the-art indoor shooting range. X-Ring Security, located in Waipahu. Log on to x-ringsecurity.com. And by Dirty Lickens, home of Hawaii's best buffalo wings. Dirty Lickens, 3rd level in the IAS Shopping Center. And by Ringer's Gloves, because your hands matter. Now that you have your new shotgun, we're going to show you how to modify it. This budget shotgun was a bargain for $179 at the local big box sporting goods store. It accepts both 2 3/4 and 3-inch shells. To get started, we need to remove the 2 trigger plate pins from the receiver in order to remove the trigger assembly. Once removed, we will secure the trigger assembly and remove the factory trigger spring. The aftermarket spring is slightly longer and its spring coils are not as tight. This will take the trigger pull down a couple of pounds. The factory safety is pretty small. First, we need to remove the safety retaining pin. A punch works nicely, and remember that the pin secures the safety spring and detent ball. We are using the King Armory oversized safety, which is significantly larger, making the use of the safety much easier. Replace the factory safety with the King Armory safety. Reinsert the safety detent ball and spring. You will need to push down on the safety spring in order to seat the safety retaining pin. Utilizing the safety is much easier, especially when using gloves. Check the trigger functions before putting the assembly back into the receiver. Length of pull has always been a problem for me, so to solve this problem, we replaced the factory stock with an adjustable M4 type. To take off the factory stock, you need to remove the butt pad and a long screwdriver to remove the retaining bolt. Before reassembling, we added a single point sling mount, which goes between the new stock and the end of the receiver. The replacement bolt has a hex key head. Now we have the length of pull adjustable and a pistol grip, which I prefer. One of the fun things you can do with your new shotgun is skeet shooting. Let's go join the Koko Head Skeet Club and see what they're up to.
It's a sport that dates back to the 1920s. Developed by an avid hunter who wanted to duplicate the experience of being out in a bird field.
It's an enjoyable sport because you're actually shooting at a moving target, unlike paper targets or silhouettes.
A fast-moving target that requires the shooter to calculate speed, distance, and angles before pulling the trigger.
The secret.
What is the secret?
I think the secret, there's no secret. If you have good eye-hand coordination, you're gonna do good. But you get a little bit confused, so you gotta do some training.
The Koko Head Skeet Club has been around for about 30 years, providing instruction and competition to skeet shooting enthusiasts.
Today is the first shoot of the year, which is a 100 target event in 20 gauge, okay? Each individual will shoot 50 targets on the right range and then 50 targets on the left range behind me.
The birds are launched by a trap machine. The shooter must evaluate the flight path and figure out how far ahead of the target the shot should be fired. Precision is rewarded with an exploding disc.
You have to be on your game in order to hit the target consistently.
Out of the 100 targets, we count the ones you break. So if in 100 you shoot 100, your score is 100. If you shoot 50, that means you miss 50. And at the end of the day, we compile all the scores, and each class we get from A to C to B to D. The winners take home a prize.
As a legend in Hawaii drag racing, Earl Char knows a thing or two about quick thinking, hand-eye coordination, and steady performance under pressure.
When I used to race, they go, how can you drive so well and be so fast off the lights? I said, everything depends on my eyes, because you can see everything so quick and so clear. Now your coordination is almost perfect.
It's a skill he would utilize off the racetrack, where Earl's love for hunting led to his nickname, Safari.
When you're driving at almost 300 miles an hour, your peripheral vision comes in. You know exactly where you are at the track. So here, when you're looking for the bird, you'll be looking forward, but your peripheral will pick up the bird coming from the side, so you already got to jump on the bird.
Over the years, skeet shooting has become more than just a hunter's way of preparing for real-life birds. From local contests to Olympic-level competition, the sport is serious business.
This is an expensive sport, cost of equipment, and we have to pay for all of our targets as well as our ammunition. Most of us will probably try to alleviate some of the costs by reloading our own ammunition. So that brings the cost down somewhat for us. So we spend the same amount of money, but we get twice as much shooting for the same amount of dollars. Oh.
But it's that love of the game, that search for the perfect marriage of speed, distance, and angles that keeps them coming back.
I think people are attracted to skeet or, trap shooting because of the moving target, the clay pigeon. It's not a stationary or what you call a static target. That's important. Whoa.
For Shooting Sports Hawaii, I'm Mina Sugimoto.
We have a few more things for this budget shotgun upgrade. One of the drawbacks of a shotgun is the limited round capacity. From the factory, our budget shotgun has a 5-round magazine. We begin by removing the factory magazine spring retainer. Replace the factory magazine spring with a new replacement spring, which is much longer. Do not reuse the spring which was just removed. We also replaced the factory magazine follower, which is very flimsy, with a King Armory follower machine from Delrin. The King Armory follower is chemical resistant, self-lubricating, and it will last forever. We also added a pick rail to accommodate a red dot. Shotguns produce significant recoil, so make sure to use some thread locker to secure your optic to the rail. When we come back from the break, Olanahiu will visit with the ILH Air Rifle powerhouse, Punahou, and will showcase some new products. You won't want to miss this. On the next episode of Shooting Sports Hawaii, we'll show you how to acquire a pistol permit and the pistol certification class that is required.
I want you to lift your right thumb.
Our next project is a budget pistol. And we'll visit with internationally recognized pistol smith, Hawaii's own Ed Masaki.
This is why I think that's one of the best guns.
And in our product showcase, how to improve your front sights for pennies. All this and more coming up on the next episode of Shooting Sports Hawaii, presented by X-Ring Security on February 28th at 4 p.m. only on K5, the home team. On this episode of PunishUM Motorsports, we'll show you the best of our past stories. First, we'll visit with fastest street bike drag racer Jack Cambra Junior. And then it's off to Vegas to hang with Ron Capps and the Okuhara brothers. We'll get sideways with one of the old boys. And we'll take to the skies with the Hawaii Air Guards Sumo. PunishUM Motorsports coming up next.
Aloha Hawaii, I'm Gabby Franco. I'm an Olympian and you might know me from Top Shot. I will be giving shooting classes in May in Hawaii, but seating is limited. I'll see you soon. Mahalo.
On February's episode of PunishUM Motorsports, Olanahiu tours high-tech coating and shows you their powder coating process. Hawaii Raceway closed in 2006, and we'll visit with the Oahu's displaced racing community, and let's see what these racers are up to today. and project budget build begins. PunishUM Motorsports, Saturday, February 28th at 4:30 p.m. only on K5, the home team. Shooting Sports Hawaii is being brought to you by X-Ring Security. For daily sales and specials, check them out on Facebook. X-Ring Security, located in Waipahu. Log on to x-ringsecurity.com. That was a lot of fun modifying this shotgun. But before we head down range to do some running and gunning, did you know that the nation's top rifle team is right here in our own backyard?
One Hawaii high school is a powerhouse when it comes to air rifle competition. Punahou School has a very young and talented air riflery team.
I was really young, maybe in elementary school, and my dad took me to the Koko Head shooting range for the first time, and I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to shoot after that.
I did shooting because I needed the PE credit, and then I knew that my friend Christy was in it, and then I met the coaches, and then I fell in love with the team, and then I just kept on going.
I've always liked guns, and then I heard Punahou had a rifle team, and so as soon as I could, I joined up.
Different paths brought them here. One reason keeps them here.
I grew to love the sport and like the team members and the coaches, so I continued.
These are the members of the Punahou Precision Air Riflery Team, which has won the Interscholastic League Championship every year since it started in 2007.
We had two kids that just came back from the Olympic Training Center. One went to compete in an air rifle match, and one went to compete in a small bore match.
While air riflery is accessible to all shapes and sizes, it's not an easy sport.
It's a long process, and you probably have to really work on, getting the fundamentals down. But once they get the fundamentals down, then they can really start seeing, hey, I can do this.
Look at these targets. The bullseye is the size of a period at the end of a sentence. Could you hit that from 10 meters away?
It's a very concentration type of sport. It really helps you with your mental thought and awareness.
We have actually had a few kids that were attention deficit, and their parents said that after they had participated with the team for 1 or 2 years that they saw improvement in their schoolwork too. Hopefully it helps anybody, because in order to be good at shooting, you have to have concentration, you have to have focus, you have to have attention to detail, you have to be organized.
Students and teachers have noticed that excelling at this sport leads to better grades.
I believe that concentration helped with schoolwork and other activities as well.
Throughout life, we tell them you have to concentrate on trying to do the best that you can. And that carries on in their classroom work, the college that they go on and stuff. And then even talking to the other coaches. The shooters on all the teams, not only on Punahou's team, but the other schools, they find out that they're the better students.
It also builds character.
Competitions have taught me to just focus and to not be nervous, which is something that's sort of hard sometimes. And it's also taught me, I guess, just to relax and have confidence in yourself.
Many of the students are on target for a college scholarship or higher accolades.
Once kids leave Punahou, there are actually scholarships at colleges that they can earn. There are schools that also have teams that are just club teams, so no scholarships, but they still get to shoot. We have one student at MIT, he's on a club team, and he gets to travel, he gets to compete.
I'll be shooting for the Ohio State rifle team next year.
Success.
Nice shot.
Thanks.
On and off the shooting range. Bullseye.
Air riflery is an Olympic sport, so students who go on in the field could compete in the Olympic Games. Follow us on our Facebook page where you can win giveaways from worn scope mounts, ringer's gloves, magneto speed, and many more. But you have to like our Facebook page to be eligible. Winners will be drawn at random. For Shooting Sports Hawaii, I'm Elena Hugh.
And an update, the Punahou Gold Rifle Team took home gold at the NRA 3-Position Air Rifle National Championships in Anniston, Alabama. The State Air Riflery Championships brings together the top high schools from across Hawaii. This competition decides who will become state champs.
I kind of waited 3 years for this moment right now, and it's finally here. It's really exciting.
Nadia is the first student from Merino to become state champion.
I beat my sister in something. It's helped me to focus more, and it's just helped me to really relax my mind and concentrate on what I'm doing and not to get frustrated so easily at things.
Congratulate you on your marksmanship. So happy that we have people like Nadia who are excelling in this area, and it also provides her opportunities to further her education through a really neat sport that not too many people here in Hawaii know about or talk about.
Winning states helped Nadia to receive a shooting sports scholarship from the University of Mississippi. The most recent state champs are Isabel Villanueva in the girls division from St. Francis and former teammate to Nadia Hata, Derek Nire from Hawaii Baptist. Congratulations to all the winners, and we'll see you this year at states. And after the break, it's off to the range with Budget Shotgun. We'll show you what's coming up around the shooting sports calendar, as well as some new products, so stick around. On the next episode of Shooting Sports Hawaii, we'll show you how to acquire a pistol permit and the pistol certification class that is required.
I want you to lift your right thumb.
Our next project is a budget pistol. And we'll visit with internationally recognized pistol smith, Hawaii's own Ed Masaki.
This is why I think that's one of the best guns.
And in our product showcase, how to improve your front sights for pennies. All this and more coming up on the next episode of Shooting Sports Hawaii, presented by X-Ring Security on February 28th at 4 p.m. only on K5, the home team. On this episode of PunishUM Motorsports, we'll show you the best of our past stories. First, we'll visit with fastest street bike drag racer Jack Cambra Junior. And then it's off to Vegas to hang with Ron Capps and the Okuhara brothers. We'll get sideways with one of the old boys. And we'll take to the skies with the Hawaii Air Guards Sumo. PunishUM Motorsports coming up next.
Aloha Hawaii, I'm Gabby Franco. I'm an Olympian and you might know me from Top Shot. I will be giving shooting classes in May in Hawaii, but seating is limited. I'll see you soon. Mahalo.
On February's episode of PunishUM Motorsports, Olena Hugh tours high-tech coating and shows you their powder coating process. Hawaii Raceway closed in 2006. And we'll visit with the Oahu's displaced racing community, and let's see what these racers are up to today. And Project Budget Build begins. PunishUM Motorsports, Saturday, February 28th at 4:30 p.m. only on K5, the home team. Shooting Sports Hawaii is being brought to you by PunishUM Motorsports. Coming up immediately after Shooting Sports Hawaii, PunishUM Motorsports, celebrating its 10th season on television. X-Ring Security, located in Waipahu. Log on to x-ringsecurity.com. Check out the fine folks at Dirty Lickens, home of Hawaii's best buffalo wings. Dirty Lickens, 3rd level in the Aiea Shopping Center. And by Ringer's Gloves, because your hands matter. The February calendar of events is being brought to you by X-Ring Security in Waipahu. On Sunday, February 22nd, the Hawaii Rifle Association will have their monthly event at the Koko Head Range. The morning session will be pistols. and the afternoon session will be rifle and pistols. For more information, log on to kaneohegs.com under events. The Hawaii Defense Foundation's monthly event for February will be on Saturday, February 28th. The HDF's announcement for their monthly events are on 2ahawaii.com. There, you will find out how to reserve a spot for their monthly event. The Valley Isle Sports Shooters Club is playing host to the 2015 Hawaii State USPSA Championships, which is being held at the Ukumehame Range on February 28th and March 1st. For more info, log on to valleyislesportshooter.com. The Hawaii Practical Shooters Club is having an event on February 1st and 21st. The club does both USPSA and IPSC matches at the Koko Head Shooting Complex at the Action Bay side of the range. For more information, log on to hawaiipracticalshooters.org. If your club or group is having an event, email us the information to info@shootingsportshawaii.com. And remember to see the fine folks over at X-Ring Security. The King Armory brakes were built from the ground up. It comes in a standard brake and a breacher brake. Your barrel must be threaded to accept the King Armory brake. This is much stronger than the fragile choke tubes. The King Armory shotgun brake has excellent flash suppression and recoil reduction for follow-up shots.
I think it was well constructed, and it pretty much did make a difference in regards to muzzle rise.
It is compatible with all ammunition, including less than lethal rounds.
What I noticed, there was a tremendous difference between the two, was the one that was equipped with the muzzle brake. I was able to get the muzzle back down and on target a lot faster.
And produces a tighter pellet pattern. For the month of February, King Armory will be offering Shooting Sports Hawaii viewers a 10% discount and free shipping. At checkout, use promo code SSH808. For more information on the King Armory line of products, go to kingarmory.com. Another product is this knife extension produced by Special Operations Equipment. This extension converts any belt-mounted knife sheath into a drop leg subload. There is no noticeable movement even while jogging. The knife extension will drop your sheath 3 inches lower. For more information, log on to soebelts.com. Today, we are using Ringer's Gloves Law Enforcement Carbon Tactical with its all-over protection, carbon fiber knuckle protection, and fully impact compliant. For more information on the line of Ringer's Gloves, log on to ringersgloves.com.
Shooter unload, show clear.
Clear.
Safe.
Safety. Thanks for all your help, Chris.
No problem.
And thanks again to the Hawaii Defense Foundation. Hope you enjoyed our first episode. Until next time, always keep your powder dry and your targets downrange. Aloha.
Shooting Sports Hawaii is a Tracy Arakaki Productions.